A lot of stuff got revealed in Dragon Ball today. The ending of Super was one of those things, and I'm not going to talk about that for now. Just know that the way you think it's going to end is probably how it ends. That's all I'm going to say. But one thing that is, I think, more interesting is the official Dragon Ball website came out and gave us Toriyama's original draft for the Tournament of Power. This was translated on Twitter. It goes into a lot of stuff, but the two most interesting things are what come at the end. So make sure you watch this to the end. It's not going to be that long, but it starts off with saying that the arena that they're fighting in was designed by Toriyama, and I completely see that. That's 100% Toriyama's style. And the first three fighters that he designed were Jiren, Toppo, and Dispo. Now, the way this works with Toriyama's involvement in Super, it is nowhere near his involvement in DBZ and the original Dragon Ball. He's not writing the manga. Pretty much all Toriyama's doing is giving off notes to Toei Animation, and they're taking those dot points and running with it. So Toriyama isn't 100% involved in Super. That's why we see a lot of stuff that sometimes isn't very reminiscent of Dragon Ball Z, because it's not all Toriyama. So when Toriyama was drafting Jiren, he didn't give an indication of to what his personality was going to be. So Toei planned on making him a talkative character, kind of like Toppo. However, when they suggested that to Toriyama, he said that no, Jiren isn't supposed to have this outlandish character, he's just a guy who doesn't speak. So instead of wasting the concept of Jiren's character, they gave it to Toppo, and that's why he talks about justice all the time, while Jiren is just the silent get-it-done type. As for the rest of the Pride Troopers, Toriyama had nothing to do with them. Toei made them up all by themselves, and that's why they were all gone in one episode. Moving on from Universe 11, it has been a while since we've seen these names. Caulifla nor Kale were in Toriyama's original draft. During a conference meeting, the subject of Broly's popularity came up, so Toei once again saw how popular Broly was and they made Kale. Toriyama did not make Kale, but he saw Kale and then he made Caulifla to go along with her, so Kefla is the coming together between Toriyama's creation and everyone at Toei. Now, the Universe 7 team gets brought up, and a lot of people are saying, was it Toriyama or was it Toei who kicked Majin Buu out and replaced him with Frieza? It was actually Toriyama. From the start, he had all 10 members of Universe 7 team planned, and as the flow of the story was going through, Toriyama came up with the idea of Ultra Instinct. That was his move, including its name and design, and it was only meant for Goku so far. So any instance of Vegeta or anyone else using Ultra Instinct, that's not true. It was only created for Goku, and he was really adamant in saying that he wanted this to be a completely different power-up from Super Saiyan. And just speaking as someone who likes Dragon Ball, Ultra Instinct is the best power-up this series has. It relies not on power and rage, but the mastery of martial arts, and that's something that a lot of people have really gotten behind. So Toriyama, you've done a good job with this transformation. It's a good form. So now moving on to some of Toriyama's comments about after the series. What happens when the series ends? Well, we have two things right here. This is coming from one of the series directors. He personally thinks that Toriyama might be trying to set up further stories with the ending of this arc. Now, it hasn't ended yet, but we do know how it's going to end. And yeah, that makes sense. Even if he set up nothing, there's still a million stories that can be told. I don't want to read too much into this, but to me what they're saying, it's Dragon Ball is nowhere near being over. That's how I'm taking it, because the series director comes out and says that Toriyama's setting up further stories. He doesn't need to set up more stories because we already have so many that could be told, but the fact that he is, it's looking good. Now, the final thing he says before the interview ends, keep watching until the very end of the last episode. Apparently, there'll be something special. It could be something stupid like promoting something that has nothing to do with Dragon Ball, but I don't think it is. With how the series is going to end with Jiren and Goku, it just leaves it wide open for anything to happen. So those were the most interesting parts of the interview to me. There was some stuff about Ribrianne, but honestly, I mean, she's done. The series director of Dragon Ball Super thinks that the creator might be trying to set up further stories. He thinks this. He doesn't know it, but he thinks. So yeah, I don't think it's the complete end time for Dragon Ball after March. And even though it's really cool to see it every week, sometimes you've just got to have things taken away from you for you to really appreciate them. And when you got them back again, you'll realize how great they are. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next Dragon Ball video.